Hola chicos, I'm Christian and I'm moving to Spain. So this video will be about the housing situation in Spain and Madrid especially. So in Spain you can both you can both rent and buy houses, and there are short term rent and long term rent, and then buying, of course, buying something for itself. And they are actually, all of them are very simple in Spain, at least compared to Denmark. Denmark it's very complicated. In Spain they are rather simple. Like renting is basically just you put down a depositum that's equal to 1 month. In rare occasions it will be 3 months, but most of the time it's just 1 month ahead. And then you have an agent, maybe. You can also do that out, but they just get 1 month of rent too. You don't get that back, though it's their payment, their salary, so you have to give them that. And then there's just the monthly pay you need to continue to give to the landlord if you want to stay at least. And on top of that there's water, heat and trash that normally adds up to around 100 euros together. And then you have electricity that also like around 100 euros. So that's pretty much it. That's what you have to deal with. And then if you buy a house, then you just put down the money and then that's it. That's not so much there. It's yours. You don't have to pay a single euro for it anymore after that day where you put down the full price of the house. And the reason why I'm talking about it like this is because in Denmark we have multiple taxes. Like not even tax, not just the tax, we have multiple taxes that we put on top of all these things. Which means that even if you buy something, you don't really buy it, you still kind of rent it. Because you still have to pay every single month, even though you have bought it. And no matter how many money you put down on the table, you still have to pay something every single month. So it's way more complicated and way more expensive in the long run. So in Spain they have lots of both apartments and houses. In the big cities and the cities by the sea, they mostly have apartments actually. But they also have some big houses longer up the street, like long from the sea. Not so long you can't walk if you really want, but they are placed more uphill in the not so busy parts of the street where you can get a lot of space and there can be some spacing in between the houses and so on. So it do exist, but it's not much in the big cities. It's more apartments. There are lots of apartments in these kind of cities. And in Madrid, it's very hard to find a house. In Madrid, it's mostly just apartments. So many apartments. But I have seen a few houses, very few. It's like under 1% of the housing you can get is actually houses. I think it's way under 1%. I think it's 0.01%. I think I think it maximum of 1 out of 10,000 uh, uh, apartments are actually a house. So that's what you're gonna think about. But the thing is, in Spain, that the apartments are really nice too, and they almost always have balconies, so you can be outside. Some of them have rooftop. Oh yeah, and some even have kind of gardens. Like if you are living on an apartment on the down floor, then they can have a garden on the back side of the building. Some apartment higher up can even have kind of gardens on the balconies. The rooftop apartment can have a garden on the rooftop, or else the rooftop apartment will just have all of the rooftop to use to sunbath on and so on. So they can be really nice and maybe feel better than most houses. And the good thing especially is all the balconies. You get so many balconies with apartments, and you can be living close to the city, to everything, and you will be living outdoor anyway, so you just need to get out of the apartment fast and be in the city fast, be at the beach fast. Have to be able to go to every single thing very fast. That's quite nice. So in Madrid, there are Madrid is very big, and there are the center part of Madrid, not the center, straight center, but the center part, the 20% most centered part of Madrid. And inside that, there are also very different areas. There are the center, kind of in the south, and then around that, oi, I don't know why it's so bad right now. Around that, the other big parts, and the prices can vary a lot in Madrid, and the availability can vary a lot. The thing is, the center part mostly is more expensive, but also on the other hand, there are more apartments to choose from. So sometimes you can find the cheapest apartments available in the center because they are just not so much available outside the center. So the prices are kind of strange in Madrid. They can really be 50-50 which areas are actually cheapest. But there are a lot of nice areas and they are very different. The center is very touristy. The center is where all the tourist things is and all the expensive things, expensive restaurants. So it's not a nice place to live. I think you will not have nice things close by. The things you need will not be close by. Will not have a nice neighborhood bar or something. So that's not a good idea, I think. Then there are the other areas around the center, which are also, oh fuck me, kind of touristy and kind of expensive. But if you walk the other way than the center, you could get to some local things. If you walk towards the center, you get to the touristy things. So they can be a quite nice place of living. Have best of both worlds, you can say. You just have to know where to go and go to the right place at the right time for the right needs. So it can be very nice. We have an area mostly for experts, and we have an area for rich people. I would say a very expensive area, very fine area. And then there will be up in the north because the center is kind of in the south of this center part. It's very connected. So when the center is in the the south, then up in the north, you're kind of long away from everything. it's still kind of walkable. Depends if you want to walk more than an hour, but you can walk in all of the center part of Madrid. It's what they call center parts. There's a highway going around, so there's this circular highway, and when you are inside of that highway, that's what people call like the center part of Madrid, and where most people live. People want to live inside the highway. If you live outside the highway, that's not that nice, long away from everything, and you kind of need a car and so on. So we have the university part of the city, where there is some housing, but not much. It's mostly just buildings for the universities and parks in between them. It looks like a very nice area. I've not been there yet, so I will not say too much, but it seems like quite nice. And outside that, we have a lot of housing very close by, 100 meters from every building. There will be a lot of housing. There, the metro system are close to everything. You're always close to a metro because it goes scramble around the city in every direction. They're in a kind of random way, so you are never long away from a metro stop. And you can take it to another metro stop or to destination. Maybe you have to switch between some metros, but you can always go everywhere by metro. So back to the housing situation. Madrid are the most expensive place in Spain to buy homes, and they kind of start at 500 euros, and that may be not seen that bad because in areas like Costa del Sol they also kind of start at 500 euros, but the thing is, at Costa del Sol you get more for 500 euros. And Costa del Sol, the smallest apartments are like 50 square meters and they cost 500 euros. So you get 50 square meters for 500 euros, where in Madrid they go all the way down to like 15 square meters. They are very small apartments, but they are very nice because most of the time you also have a balcony. On top of that, but also inside they are like they have a thing about making platforms on the inside where the bed are on a platform, so you could go under the bed, so you can use the space under the bed, so the bed doesn't really take up any space in that area, you can kind of say. So there are a lot of smart solutions in the small apartments, so they're not so small as it seems, they're not so small as it sounds like. A small apartment in Madrid are still better than a small apartment in Denmark, because they don't really, I've never seen in Denmark in that way. I've never seen apartments in Denmark being so creative as they are in Madrid. So Madrid is a very expensive city to be living in, especially apartments. Like Tapas Bar, quite cheap, but the apartments very expensive for Spain at least. But again, you can manage to get something for your budget. You can get something cheap. You just have to live with that the premium quality is not that high compared to other places in Spain for the same price. You can get so much nicer apartments other places in Spain for the same prices you get some shit in Madrid. So you may be thinking about that. Maybe you think that's important. However, now I'm going to Madrid. I cannot really get out of that because the university is there, so I need to live there. And there are lots of universities in Madrid, and many live in Madrid because it's close to the universities, of course. So it's a very university city for university going people, so there are lots of young people. Culture is very young and modern, lots of modern people. But there are also native Madrileños, like they're called, people that live there all their life. people born there, there are old people living there still, and so on. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much what I have to say about the housing situation in Spain and Madrid, especially. But I will also make a video where I talk more details about how to apply for a home, like how that process is in Spain. So if you like this video, then like it, and if you want to see some more details, then subscribe for more videos about housing in Spain and videos about Spain in general. And then I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.